श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। यस्य वाक् कामधेनुर्नः कामितार्थान् प्रयच्छति सेवेतं जययोगीन्द्रं कामबाणच्छिदं सदा। विद्यापीठविधातारं विद्यावारिधिचन्दिरं विद्यार्थिवत्सलं वन्दे महामहिमसद्गुरुं। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। Today, on the occasion of Sri Jaitirtha Swamiji's Aradhana Mahotsava, I would like to throw light on his life. Let us all take the privilege of learning at least a little bit about him. In this contemporary world, Sri Jaitirtha Swamiji is the sixth pontiff of Madhvacharya Peetha. Also known as Tikacharya, he was a Hindu philosopher, a dialectician, and a seeker of Dvaita philosophy. He is one of the main pillars of the great Madhva Samsthana. Today, without Tikacharya's interpretations, it is impossible to understand Madhvacharya's works and his teachings. Born to Keshava Raghunatha and Rukmini Bai, Raghunatha being their surname, his Purvashrama name was Narasimha Raghunatha. He was born out of many struggles, so their parents named him as Dhondo Pantha Raghunatha, Dhondo meaning stone in Marathi. Who knew? The same Dhondo Panth would remain eternal like stone in the history of Madhva philosophy. Though he was born in a Vaishnava community, they followed Kshatriya Dharma. He was very polite, humble, and blessed with grace, wealth, and great physical vigor. He was a master in horse riding. It is believed that Jaitirtha Swamiji was the incarnation of Lord Indra with the Avesha of Shesha, king of snakes. One would easily think, why Lord Indra, who had to preach the sayings of Madhvacharya, be born in a Kshatriya family? A person who is said to be born with a silver spoon in his mouth, in a prosperous family, brimming with wealth, good luck, grandeur, with enchanting beauty, bravery, shining armor, leave behind everything and follow the path of Dvaita philosophy. Here we get to know the power of philosophy, which even turns a hard stone into a soft pebble. Akshobhyatirtharu, the fourth successor of Madhvacharya Peetha and the direct disciple of Madhvacharya, here we all should be indebted to him for transforming Dhondo Panth Raghunatha to Jaitirtha Swamiji, who later became the spokesperson of various works written by Madhvacharya. Once Akshobhyatirtha Swamiji, along with his disciples, was camping on the banks of Bhima river. Coincidentally, Dhondo Panth, who was mounted on a horse, came near the river to fulfill his thirst. Dhondo Panth drank water from the river even without dismounting the horse directly. Seeing this, Akshobhyatirtha Swamiji questioned him, Kim Pashuhu Purvadehe? The meaning of the sentence is, were you an animal in your previous birth? Hearing this, Raghunatha immediately remembered the glimpse from his past life and his mind started to divert from materialistic desire to spirituality. According to history, Jaitirtha Swamiji in his previous birth was an ox. He served Madhvacharya by carrying books as a pack animal. He travelled along with Madhvacharya and his devotees. When Acharya would teach his disciples, the ox used to hear it from a distance and keep nodding its head. It used to understand everything. Once, few disciples approached Madhvacharya to take the privilege of writing commentaries to his works. Acharya Madhva didn't pay any heed to them. He simply turned towards the ox and said, that ox in its next birth will write the commentaries to his works. Out of jealousy and anger, the pioneers tried to kill the bull by poisoning it. That's when Madhvacharya came to its rescue and saved the ox by chanting Dvadasha Stotra. Today, till date, we all chant Dvadasha Stotra at the time of Naivedya, which is very auspicious to remove all the impurities from the food. Knowing that Dhondo Panth Raghunatha is taking sannyas ashramam, his father Keshava began to curse Akshobhya Tirtha Swamiji for faulting his child's mind. Out of anger, he brought Raghunatha home. That day night, when Raghunatha was in deep thoughts, he looked like a huge snake to all his family members. Realizing his mistake, Keshava Raghunatha regretted and fell on the feet of Akshobhya Tirtha Swamiji. Then Akshobhya Tirtha Swamiji gave ashrama to Dhondo Pantha and named him as Jaitirtha Swamiji. Once taking the ashrama, Jaitirtha Swamiji recollected his purpose of birth and immediately moved to Yeragola, which is situated just 1 kilometer from Chittapur in Yadgiri district. He began to write his commentaries. He prayed Goddess Durga, and Goddess Durga blessed him with a betel nut and a palm leaf to rub after writing. Yeragola, this is the place where Tikacharya wrote Sriman Nyaya Sudhadi Granthas. Jaitirtha Swamiji used to sit there alone with deep thoughts and write commentaries with great patience, knowledge and intense aparoksha jnana. His words were filled with grandeur. Each word or sentence has a deep meaning. His words can never be condemned as he has given all pratyakshadi pramanas. Today, till date, no one ever has tried to bring out any of the criticisms against his tikas. Moreover, it is full of Madhvacharya's intentions, as such it is eternal. Jaitirtha Swamiji composed 18 commentaries and 3 of his own compositions. Hence he got the name Tikacharya. He had a very lucid style and gave precise explanations to all his commentaries. Nyaya Sudha is known as Sri Jaitirtha's magnum opus and is detailed tika of Anuvyakhyana by Madhvacharya. Jaitirtha brilliantly captured all the statements of his Guru and explained it very simply. It is universally believed that the Dvaita philosophical depth and breadth can be appreciated by the help of Nyaya Sudha. One who studies this is considered a scholar. Many other granthas such as Tattva Prakashika, Prameya Deepika, Nyaya Deepika, etc. are few of the most eligible commentaries written by him. Jaitirtha Swamiji created a basic foundation and found a base for everyone to learn Dvaita philosophy. The knowledge he created passed on from generation to generation by his seers. He completed his enormous achievements in only 23 years of his asceticism. He handed over Pitha to Vidyadhiraja Tirtharu. He entered the Vrindavan in Malkhed in Gulbarga district. After Madhvacharya, it is Tikacharya who occupied a prominent position in the world of Dvaita philosophy. Without Sri Tikacharya's commentaries, without his interpretations, none of the works of Madhvacharya would be easy to comprehend. Tikacharya did a commendable job in the history of Dvaita philosophy. Today, on his Aradhana, let us all pray to him so that we can be blessed with intense knowledge, so that we can be blessed with bhakti and travel on the path of salvation. Thank you.